Let's dig into another trending ticker we are watching today. BYD hitting a new monthly sales record in December, boosted by government incentives and discounts. The Chinese EV maker selling more than 500,000 cars in the final month of the year. That helped push annual sales up 41% year over year. You can see the stock moving just around the flat line here, perhaps getting a little bit of sentiment moving to the downside and sympathy move off of those Tesla deliveries. You would expect kind of the opposite because the two are competitive here. Having said that, it's really interesting looking at BYD last year, again, having over 42 million passenger cars sold. You can contrast this with some of the challenges at the likes of Nissan, obviously Stellantis having significant challenges. But I even thought this morning, Brad, about what we saw with GM closing down their robotaxi Cruise unit in competition with robotaxis. Just this idea here that you continue to see the winners and losers kind of forming themselves in the EV space, and BYD really becoming a homegrown winner, at least over in Asia.
Yeah, this speaks to one of the elements that IDC had actually called out in its study and its analysis of the electric vehicle landscape more broadly here, which is where you might see even more of the government subsidies between the entities that are beneficiaries, in this case a BYD in China, and China trying to create even more mind share and market share that gets retained by the homegrown auto manufacturers, really become a prioritization there, and how that could impact a company that we were just talking about in Tesla. That's come up in conversation, especially on earnings calls as well, at least from analysts who have peppered some of the executives with questions. And then additionally, it'll also come back to one of the major catalysts in supply chain expansion going forward from here too. How for all of the electric vehicle automakers, they're sourcing and continuing to maintain some of their longer contracts for lithium. Don't be surprised if lithium is one of those, maybe not an Oxford word of the year, but a hot button topic or key word that we hear for some of the electric vehicle earnings calls and hear from the companies over the course of this year with regard to some of the sourcing of that core component for batteries as well.
Maybe it should be, though, the word of the year. If nuclear
it's going to be hard to push.
The word of 2024, maybe if we do see so much bullishness on EVs, maybe lithium becomes that second, third derivative play and we see a lot of outperformance there. I don't know.
It's not as sexy as the mirror, so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how can you trade it?
Right.